Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Gabriel, coming at you straight from Queens, New York, and today we are going to be talking about Ma'Khia Bryant, and or more specifically the shooting of Ma'Khia Bryant in the Columbus shooting. Yeah, and she was a black 16-year-old teenager, obviously. That in the process of trying to murder somebody in front of a cop, the cop, in order to save her target's life, went ahead and shot her. They tried to render life-saving procedures after the shooting, but it was unsuccessful, and she ended up passing away. Now, what does this? So, as the title suggests, right, the reaction that we are getting to this shooting is exactly why I said what I said about policing after the Chauvin trial. Yeah, cops shouldn't police anymore, like at all. Like I said in that last video, just be glorified witnesses. Just stand there and let it happen. Because, like LeBron James said, you're next. Right? The cop that shot this girl is now being targeted, and the mob is going to want nothing less than a third, second, or maybe even first-degree murder charge on this guy. So, if the expectation is that cops are going to have to answer these calls, but then be punished for saving somebody else's life, be punished for restraining somebody, be punished for proactively trying to stop a crime, then they shouldn't stop these things anymore. It doesn't make any sense, right? If we are saying that them doing all of that is illegal, then they shouldn't be doing it anymore at all. Why are they being called out to these things anyways, right? If this is the reaction that we're going to have every time a cop does their job and protects the community from psychotic individuals, then we can't, like, stop calling them. Like, just stop. Why? You're literally calling somebody just so that you can then blame them for doing their job and then make money off of it. This is a scheme. This is a giant scheme being perpetuated by the leftist drones, being puppeteered by BLM and the Democrats and a bunch of other leftists, Antifa and all of them. That's enough. Enough is enough. If this is going to be our reaction to this type of stuff, then we need to stop calling the cops. Like, at all. For anything. For nothing. There's no reason to call the cops at all. In fact, cops should move out of these areas. Right? Any area that is predominantly a minority residential area, any area should be off limits to police. And they should not be blamed when the crime increases as a result of that. When the murders increase, when the drug overdoses increase, when all of these bad things, when the neighborhoods start going to shit more than they already are, don't blame the cops, right? Because you're blaming the cops for policing the areas. And you're taking them to court, and you're having courts finding them guilty of doing exactly what their job description says they should do. So then stop. Like, it's hypocritical of you to call the cops. Stop calling them. What's wrong with you? It's like a trap. It's a scheme. I don't know. It's so two-faced. It is so it's like this incestuous relationship of just degeneracy. You're killing each other, and then you're calling the cops, and then when the cops try to stop you from killing each other, you blame them when one of you dies. Get the hell out of here with that nonsense, dude. That don't make no damn sense. Yeah, like I said, man, cops need to stop. Yo, just be glorified witnesses. Just stand there with your body camera, and when the people are there looking at you, watching some other girl stab up some other chick because they're fighting, just let them do it. They're like, nah, if I stop one of them, I'm gonna go to jail. Why would you don't do that. Don't do that. That doesn't make any sense. That's not part of your job description. Your job doesn't mean that you have to go to jail in exchange for protecting the residents. That's not part of the sacrifice that you signed up to make. That's not. It's a double standard, and it's a hypocritical one. Stop calling the police, right? If you think they're so bad, right? Matter of fact, make predominantly minority areas off limits to cops. Simple. You can no longer police in these areas, and if you do, you can only observe and record. That's it. Because if we're going to continue to blame cops, for policing because they're using too much force, right? It's not that we don't want cops. It's just that we need them to exercise force more carefully. So how about if you exercise force more carefully? Because guess what? In every single one of these situations, if you had not resisted, if you had not been using an insane amount of force, if you had not been running from the cops, if you had not been trying to forcefully evade the police, to fight them off, if you had used lesser force, they would not have to have used more force. Right? Who pushed that first domino? Who pushed that first domino that led to your death? Or to your family member's death? Who pushed that first domino? And in every single one of these situations that have come up, every single one, without question, the person that pushed the first domino was the one that ended up getting shot by the cops or dying under police custody. Every single one. Every single one, they were the ones that escalated first. But somehow the cops are supposed to just ignore that. So then I say, fine. I agree with you. The cops should ignore it. Completely and utterly 100%. All the time. None of this wishy-washy nonsense, right? You can't have your cake and eat it too. You're being selfish. That's all for this one, man. Thanks for watching.